All right, this is Tom Salema with OIS TV. I'm happy to be here with Tom Frinzi, Senior Vice President of Abbott, and of course, President of AMO. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here, Tom.
Yeah, we get some sun today. So,
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful day in New Orleans, and
we're in the Big Easy.
We're in the Big Easy, and we're unfortunately inside, but at least we're at OIS, so that's
yes.
exciting.
Yeah.
So congratulations again. We talked in the podcast about your new position at AMO, but what brought you to AMO? I guess a lot of people anticipated you'd be finding some small company to make into a big company.
Yeah, no, I think three things really interested me in the AMO opportunity. One, the people. I was impressed with some of the folks I had the opportunity to meet, the passion they have, the customer focus they have. I think was appealing to me. Secondly, our pipeline. It's the richest in the history of AMO, and I think, as you well know, and as the OIS demonstrates, innovation is key to our industry, and the fact that we have 250 world-renowned scientists really focused on vision, and they've been busy because we plan to have new product introductions across all three of our business segments, cataract, refractive, as well as corneal eye health, focused on three important things. How do we improve outcomes? How do we improve efficiency operationally? And third, how do we promote overall ocular health? So I think it was people, pipeline, and then last but not least, a process that I knew I could bring to the table at AMO to really gain the alignment and focus around what are the vital few things that can really move the needle for the business. So I think that combination of people, pipeline, and process is what attracted me to the opportunity, and after 4 months I haven't been disappointed.
That's great. Is there a formula that works in this sort of case? Like, do you just merely take whatever you did at a WaveTech and sort of scale it up for an AMO, or is every company different?
I think the answer probably lies as a combination of both. I think size doesn't matter in terms of how you want to lead an organization and how you want to affect change in an organization if you have the right kind of process. And getting people to align around a common vision, the kind of values you want to implement to run the business, and then ultimately focusing on customers and employees. And to the degree that you can delight your customers and ultimately motivate your employees, you'll eventually satisfy your shareholders. And I think that's the way you approach it, whether it's a small startup environment or a company the size of AMO.
And what changes have you made in 4 months, or any? What were your first steps kind of coming?
I think for me, and you and I have talked offline a couple of times about this, I think culture trumps everything. So I think the first thing I did was listen, travel around. I've been to Asia, I've been to Europe, I've been across the US, and listened to our employees, listened to our customers, and got constructive current state feedback, as well as surveying both our employees and customers. So the first 90 days, 120 days have been all about listening and assessing. And then I think once you get the culture right, then you can start thinking about, all right, are we structured the right way to really meet the needs of our customer, the ophthalmologist? And then ultimately you can think about talent and people. But for me, it starts with culture. Then you want to get the structure right, and then you can ultimately make sure you have the right people in the right jobs.
That tour must have been great to get sort of a whole view of ophthalmology. You've been in ophthalmology for 30 years.
Yep.
How has it changed as a specialty, and how has the relationship between corporations and physicians changed? We have a lot of great physicians here at OIS. It still seems to be a collegial atmosphere, but have there been changes?
I mean, there certainly has, as healthcare has changed dramatically over that 30-year period of time. But being part of ophthalmology as long as I have been, there's been wonderful advances. I mean, everything from the front of the eye to the back of the eye and everything in between. I've had an opportunity to have a ringside seat and be a part of some of it and to observe some of it. And I think what makes ophthalmology unique is that the relationship we have with our customer, the ophthalmologist, is unique in terms of subspecialty, because they are not only the user of the technology, but for most of the time they're the buyer of our technology. And that kind of direct channel, I think, makes ophthalmology unique. Certainly the kind of collaboration that has existed has been challenged a little bit as sunshine laws and compliance activities, particularly in big companies, have become more and more prevalent. But I think at the end of the day, it's essential that you have a customer focus and a collaboration with the end user to ensure you're developing products and technology that meets the needs not only of the customer, the practice, but ultimately patients. And it's all about improving outcomes. And I think that hasn't changed.
Yeah, that's a great point. Because so many other specialties, it's the hospitals now that are not only the physicians work for them, but they're buying the supplies. So where will you be looking for innovation in for AMO? And what will you have going on the inside, and how much will you look on the outside?
You know, again, as I said, one of the things that attracted me was the strength of our pipeline. So clearly, you know, we have a very active internal R&D organization. We currently have over 20 projects that really go across all three of our businesses, as I mentioned. So, but if you step back from that, I think we're agnostic about where innovation comes from. You know, whether it's internally developed or externally acquired, I think where there's disruptive opportunities to really move the market, we're going to be interested.
And where are those opportunities? What markets really excite you?
Well, you know, I think, look, in terms of cataract surgery, it's all about improving outcomes around cataract surgery. And in particular, I think the premium channel has to grow. It's been relatively stagnant, and I think new lens technologies, a product like Symphony that we hope to bring to the U.S. market. It's currently with the FDA. We've seen the ability to overall grow the premium market outside the U.S. with a product like that, which is really going to be the first in its class in the United States in terms of extended depth of focus. And I think that kind of innovation is going to be very instrumental in growing the premium channel, and I think that's critical in terms of the long-term success of cataract surgery.
And finally, what are you going to be introducing this week at ASCRS? Anything?
Well, you know, we're looking forward to the ASCRS. It's going to be a good meeting for us. We have nearly 200 publications and posters touting the science and the innovation of AMO. We certainly are celebrating the 20th anniversary of AMO University, which has historically been focused on helping refractive practices grow both top and bottom line. And this year we've expanded the scope to include both lens-based surgery as well as corneal refractive surgery. So we're excited about the AMO University. But more than anything, I think it's an opportunity for us to demonstrate that we truly are partnering with our customers. And that goes beyond just innovation and technology. You know, we have capabilities around practice or premium practice specialists and business development managers, both on cataract and refractive, that can really help and work with practices, as I said, to grow both their top and bottom line. So I think we're excited to have an opportunity to talk about our technology, not so much what's coming, but the quality of the products we have today. From an IOL point of view, we're proud of our leadership position in presby-correcting IOLs. We've introduced 2 new phacos over the last 4 or 5 months to the marketplace, and this is a great opportunity to further enhance our position in the area of cataract removal. So it's going to be an exciting program for us.
That's great. And just going forward into the whole year, do you see sort of slow and steady? Do you anticipate sort of slow and steady being AMO's pace, or might we see some sort of exciting addition or acquisition later in the year? How would you see things?
No, I think, again, because of the richness of the pipeline, the challenge I've made to our R&D organization is that on every 6-month basis, we should be bringing new products to the market that truly make a difference. And we're excited that we have projects and programs underway across all 3 of our businesses. So I think the ophthalmic community can look forward to a steady cadence of innovation coming from AMO.
Excellent. Well, we look forward to that and to seeing you on the Masters of the Universe panel later today.
Well, I appreciate it. Thanks, Tom.
Thanks for joining us.
All righty. Bye-bye.